Hey, gals and ghouls, it's Holly, your resident final girl and scream queen, and I'm here with my friend Jeremy. Today, we are going to be talking about our YouTubers, the new face of horror.
Yes, I like how your professional tone just came out. We were just talking for 10 minutes, and then you just totally switched how you talk on me. It caught me off guard,
Sorry.
but that's all right.
I have to do the ASMR voice for the people.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, they really come to love it. I get apparently my videos come up as ASMR videos.
Nice. Okay. It's funny because this is the first time I've ever put my face on YouTube, and I just do like the voiceover stuff. And for like years, I hated my voice, and I get people saying that my voice is like very calming, and I'm like, I've hated my voice for years. So just over the years, I've got used to hearing myself talk back, and I've kind of adjusted to it.
You know, it's funny because it's like the same thing for me. I've always like hated my voice. I thought it was like very shrill sounding. So then like when people started saying like, "Oh, you're so calming," I'm like, me?
It is very calming. Mine is like when I hear myself talk, I'm like, that's not how a man sounds. So I don't know. That just always been. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, back on topic.
I'm going to be linking Jeremy's YouTube channel as well, so everybody give him a follow. And anyway, so let's get into this. The first movie we're going to be talking about is Talk to Me from 2022. What did you think of this one?
I think this is my favorite of. No, I take that back because we got Obsession coming up. So this was my favorite for a time. And this was like, I think it had like the themes of party drugs in it.
Yeah.
Did you get that vibe?
I did, yeah.
And I don't, like that ending, just like that's one of the craziest endings in a horror movie that I've seen in like probably recent years, I would say.
Honestly, I think like the whole movie was kind of like that for me.
Okay.
I think this was like the first A24 movie I ever liked.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so we've kind of argued about this because I love Hereditary and Midsommar, whatever you're gonna call it. There's other A24 movies that I think they just went off the rails, but like I don't know, this one I might like this one more than Midsommar. I liked Hereditary, and I know we're not talking about A24. It's another time, but
next
time. But yeah, I love this movie. I thought it was very unsettling, and like I remember hearing that one girl get kind of possessed for the first time in the theater, and it was like jarring to hear like that sound and that performance, and it's very rare that a horror movie does that for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and I feel like that's kind of just how I felt like the entire time, because I felt like this movie was also like super graphic, and the fact that like the kids were so young as well, really like it made it that much, I guess, harder to watch, especially with the main character's best friend's brother.
Yeah,
you know, that whole part, like that whole thing was like, I remember just sitting here like this was like, oh my god, like watching everything he was doing to himself. I just remember sitting there, I'm like, I wanted to like crawl out of my skin.
I remember a very uncomfortable scene with a dog, like because it makes the kid like make out with the dog, and I was like, that was where I was like, okay, we're jumping the shark a little bit, because I don't know, like
we're kind of veering a little too much right now.
Yeah,
but they pulled it back.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, like I remember seeing that ending, and the ending stuck with me the most because there's like, I have this thing with horror movies with like tragic endings that I tend to like, even though they're not pleasant. Like there's this movie called it's actually kind of in the same vein as Talk to Me. It's called Allison's Birthday from the like 1981 or something like that.
I don't think I've seen that.
I can't recommend it enough, but it has like this very depressing ending, and it reminded me of that. And it's like, yeah, that's just, I don't know, that's just my vibe.
I'm like the opposite.
Okay.
I get so upset when it's like such a sad ending. I'm like, but I wanted them to win. I wanted them to survive. Like I'm the complete opposite.
Now Bring Her Back is another story, because we'll talk about that in a minute, because that's one where it's like, I think there's a difference between like having this sad ending and then
It's like nihilistic.
The writers like very clearly hate the character, and I think that was a problem with Bring Her Back. But
yeah, I don't. But you know what? No. So like, but back to like Talk to Me. I actually, even though it is like a bit of a tragic, sad ending, I still liked that one. I still liked the way that it ended. I was totally on board with it. What I'm not on board with is a sequel. If it centers around those characters, that makes sense.
yeah, because I think they definitely opened it up to, because I mean it is a thing that like people can just get a hold of. So
Yeah.
like
Why?
it is open for a sequel, and I mean I'm fine with it as long as you don't connect it to people that are already established. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you like the whole world's open to this thing, and it's established that like kids just get this hand and get possessed for however long.
Which also, by the way, like when you think about it, how are these kids getting access to this like so easily?
So okay, I'm going to nerd out for a minute. So the Philippou brothers, they had a website for Bring Her Back, and it was like this like fake website where you could buy like occult items, and there was somebody looking for that hand, so it like connected the two movies together. And apparently, according to the Philippou brothers, Bring Her Back and Talk to Me take place on the same street. So I
I
don't.
was gonna say that.
So you don't want to live on that street. Apparently, it's in Australia. But yeah, I guess you could go on this website as long as you have access to it and just buy occult items. And I guess it doesn't fully answer your question on how these kids are getting it and how they're like reselling it, I guess.
No, it answers it enough.
But it kind of clears it up a little bit. But I think it's like, you know that game the kids used to play where they would like choke themselves out? And like you would like pass out for a brief period of time. Like I think that's essentially what this hand is inspired by. So I don't know. You kind of got to make it make sense for a movie to where it would be like they have access to this hand in place of just choking themselves out.
It's when choking yourself out just doesn't do it for you anymore.
Then no, you just got to get possessed sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe we'll do that on one of our conversations at another point.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to happen, or it's going to happen to all of us sometime. So,
totally fine. Yeah. So, do you want to move on to Bring Her Back now, since we're like already kind of referencing it?
Yeah, we can. They go hand in hand.
I see what you did there.
No, that wasn't on purpose, but I'll take it.
Too bad. It was now.
Yeah, I think it was good.
It was. All right. So Bring Her Back was from 2025. And I cannot say that this is a bad movie, because it's not a bad movie in any way, shape, or form, but I just will never watch this movie ever again.
Okay.
It was just such a, like, that one to me is just like such a downer, and the mother, or, you know, what would you consider her? Like the foster mother, I guess, at this point?
Yeah, she's a foster mother.
I can't remember her name. Oh my God. I have never wanted to like reach through a screen so much and like just strangle someone
Mm-hmm.
as much as I did with her. Between just like everything she was doing.
Okay, so I, I agree. I think the character was written enough to where you can see how desperate she is, if that makes sense. So it's not like you sympathize with her, but it's like, wow, this mother lost her daughter, and this is like, she's like just overrun with grief, and this is like the most depressing thing that's happened to her, obviously. And these are the lengths she's going to, bring her daughter back.
No, I mean, I totally sympathized with her. I truly did because I can't imagine like being in that situation and then having something that is there that you can do to actually bring your child back. Like, of course, I would obviously want to do the same thing. I think what like just drove me insane also was just like she was so messy about it. Like that kid is just sitting there eating the table. He's bit this one, he bit that one. She like if you were going to do this, you needed to do a little bit more research into how you were doing it, I guess. That's just like, yeah, it'll be fine. I'll figure it out, you know?
Oh, I agree. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Coincidentally enough, my last three videos that I did were bring her back, obsession, and backrooms. So it was like when I was just writing this video about this movie, it was like I'm getting so irritated with the things that this mother is doing, because it like just destroy the house and eat the table, and
Oh, the knife also just the knife scene. Oh God, could not deal with that. I told you I was like I can't rewatch this movie.
Oh no, teeth trauma is that's one of the, yeah, I can't handle teeth trauma.
Oh wait,
they're
did you
go ahead, sir.
Did you? No, I just wanted to ask. Did you watch the Lee Cronin's The Mummy? I know it's like completely off topic.
I did. I did not really like it, but yeah, I remember the yeah.
I watched it last night. Yeah,
I know what you're referencing. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, but anyway, just because it's so fresh in my head since I watched it last night, so that's why I'm just like, oh yeah. But anyway, back to bring her back. Also, I feel like yes, she's supposed to be like super like she is sympathetic. It's so sympathetic. Like I'm so sympathetic to her losing her child, but then at the same time, like some of the shit that she's doing, where she's like pouring the piss on the kid, or like when she punches the girl, and I'm just
that scene of her punching the girl is one of the most like unintentionally funny scenes that I've seen in a horror movie recently, because it's like this comedic punch, because she's just standing by the bed and then just like a quick
you don't know what she's gonna do.
Reason, it was hilarious, but
and it wasn't even like,
but yeah, like you said, there's I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like, no, I'm sorry. It's just like I was thinking about it. I'm like, it wasn't even like a jab. It was like a full like, and then she just like scampers off.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Kind of what you were saying. It's just like there's a point where you can, like, you can't do the things that she's doing to, and like you sympathize with her to an extent, but it's like you were just doing that shit crazy, get your daughter back. And in the end, like, from my understanding of this whole ritual, she would not bring her daughter back. I mean, she would in a sense, but it would be living within Piper, the little girl. So, yes. I mean, I don't know. And I didn't really love the ending part where, and I mean, we're spoiling all these
spoiler alert
movies, but I didn't really love the ending part where Piper, and then she just like comes to it and is like, oh no, I can't do it, and then she just backs out. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was kind of like a cheap kind of ending just to kind of get to the end of the movie.
It was
and
like
kind of see these characters.
Yeah, like very anticlimactic for everything that she had been doing up until that point, to just all of a sudden like, oh, never mind.
Never mind, I can't do it. Yeah, it was, I don't know. That's kind of like, besides like how nihilistic the movie is, that was kind of one of the things that I didn't like. And I mean, I could forgive, I know we joked about it a little bit. I can forgive the mistakes that she's doing with this ritual, like leaving the kid home alone, because like she's just stupid. And I think you could kind of let that slide. But it's like all these things that she's doing, and then for her to just be like, oh, never mind, I can't do it. That kind of,
like, at that point, she's also like killed like 2 people.
Oh yeah, you were too far in to turn back at this point.
Yeah, like you just killed the social worker. You just killed the stepbrother or half brother, whatever he was. The kid that is being possessed by the thing is presumably going to die at that point too, and you're just like, never mind. Like, what is that?
Yeah, because I think the thing was that I think the whole thing was that Ollie, the kid that was eating the table and stuff, like he had to consume the body of the actual dead daughter and then throw it up into Piper's mouth, and that's how the soul would get into Piper. And like by the time you get to the point where you have to kill Piper, you are too far into the ritual to turn back. Like the toothpaste is out of the tube at this point. So like you're on the last step. You might as well do it.
Yeah, no, at that point, like they might as well have just done it, because like I said, like she also just killed like 2 other people, and then you just like, I don't know. As much as I said, like I don't like super downer endings, but at that point I'm like, you have to commit. You know what I mean? Like just commit. It's just it's
to kind of nerd out a little bit about this one too, with the website that I mentioned in the talk to me part. It's hilarious because the mom is on this website like asking for advice, and she's saying like, what do you do if the vessel has eaten, yelling at her on this website, and are like, you should just give this, like you should just quit while you're ahead, or like give the thing back. Just it's just a funny thing on this website. But yeah,
because it just also kind of shows you that like she's going into this like so half-cocked, like she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. And then again, like she doesn't know what she's doing. She's making this so messy, so many mistakes, and then she just stops like right before. It's just so stupid. So it's a good movie, but it's not a great
ending.
Like that, to me, that's just what it is. It's a good movie, just not a good ending.
Yeah, I agree.
But so okay, let's move on to the next one, because I think the next one is like probably my favorite of all of them. As everybody who knows me at this point has heard me talk about this like ad nauseum, by the way. Obsession.
Yes.
My favorite.
My favorite of the 4 as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's anything we could say about this movie that hasn't already been said, unfortunately. Just this woman. Is it Navarrete or Navarrete? I think it's Navarrete.
Navarrete.
That's the way I said it in my video, and I've heard someone say it differently. Now,
that's what we're saying.
Now I know, I know, like the Academy doesn't really acknowledge, horror, and I think Smile 2 was a recent example of them just totally ignoring performance in a horror movie. And now, if there was ever a time to do it, especially with how big this movie is, because like you can make a case for like Toni Collette in Hereditary as well, or I can make the case. I don't know if you would.
No, I agree.
but like Hereditary didn't wasn't nearly as successful as Obsession. So I mean, if there was ever a time to do it, to be like, hey, even if she doesn't win, you know, there's like these weird, like uncanny things that she could do in this movie, and just like, because the whole thing is like you could see the real Nikki kind of in her head trying to come out, and you could like catch it at certain points.
Yeah.
And I guess it wasn't like talked about when it should happen. Like director Curry Barker, he was just like they established that the real Nikki is trying to come out. So it wasn't like, hey, do it here. So she was like, as far as I know, she was like picking it on her own. Like, oh, I need to do it here. And it was just such a brilliant performance. And you could like just catch these little tiny clues of like the real Nikki kind of coming through. And I thought about making a video about like all the times you could
that would
see her coming through, but I don't know if I don't really like spending like multiple videos on one movie, so that's why I haven't done it. But
okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. Well, I think it'd be interesting. Yeah,
I know. I have a.
So I mean, if you want to do it, feel free.
Maybe I'll add it into mine. Although considering right now, like mine is already like an hour long. So if I can edit it down, maybe I'll add that in. It's already pretty long. Yeah. But no, but that is a good idea though. Her performance was just amazing from like start to finish. And I don't know how anybody could disagree with that or dispute that. Like, although it was funny because my brother was like, when we watched it, like the third time that I watched it, he's like, you know, she's not even possessed yet, and I don't really like her character. And I'm like, what? He's like, I don't know, maybe it's just the way she's acting. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Wow. Yeah.
I was just like, well, you're getting taken out of the will. You know, I'm like, how could you not? Like, I found her character so likable in the beginning. I think kind of because she reminded me of me a little bit with certain things, like the way she was, and then just how different. Yeah, I know, not the Molly part. Just how different she was from the start to like when she is finally like, you know, possessed by the wish. She did like the most with this role. I also do have to say though, like, it's another thing I like about this movie is it really kind of shows you like the dynamics of like a shitty friend group. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
It's like
this whole friend group is just
garbage.
So I like the way it's written because there's that whole dynamic with Nikki and is the kid's name's Ian? Is that what it is?
Ian, yeah.
And he is like he's like giving Bear advice on how to get Nikki and how to like get her to like him and things like that. And once you find out that he was sleeping with Nikki for a brief period off and on for whatever, like you can tell that he was like sabotaging Bear. He was sabotaging Bear the entire time.
So like in the bar scene, when he just like pops out of nowhere when they're at the bar getting shots and he's like, hey, like what's going on? What are you guys talking about? And I'm just like,
yeah.
Like you're a little suspect.
Yeah, and
shit.
And he tells Bear to call her Freaky Nikki, and then he does, and she hates it. and that's like, you know, the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie too. So there are a lot of things very early on that you can tell that, he's sabotaging this whole thing. It's funny, like looking back on it though, like once you know everything, and you could tell he's sabotaging the entire thing.
It's like, yeah, then you're just like, oh, okay. And you can kind of like pinpoint all of like the shitty advice or like the shitty things that he's doing, like that scene at the bar. It's just like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. You just suck as a person. Honestly, I think all like that whole friend group just sucked though. Like they were not good friends to each other. Because then you've got like Sarah, who I'm so on the fence, I'm so on the fence about Sarah because it's like,
Yeah, and what's sad is that Nikki was about to leave the friend group because she was about to get a new job. She was talking about writing her romance story.
no, it wasn't romance. It was a love story.
This toxic friend group, and that I was about to say it was a love story. I thought I was going to get it backwards, but see, you're the woman, I'm the guy, so that's how it goes.
The difference.
But yeah, but yeah, she was going to get out of this toxic friend group, and then it's like just this horrible thing happened to her.
And even Sarah, because Sarah had gotten accepted into that school and she was going to leave. And it's like, as much as I'm kind of like conflicted on Sarah's character, because I still feel like if you saw your friend having this like public meltdown, like bashing stuff into her face, you know, you would show like a little bit more concern. And she's all just like, Bear, she's taking advantage of you. And she's like, no concern.
That is bizarre now that you mentioned it. I didn't even think of that like no one really paid attention to the fact that she was, you know, shoving a bottle into her face or whatever was going on. they're just like, oh, she's just being weird.
Yeah. It's like,
maybe that's where the name Freaky Nikki comes from, because she has like a history of just crashing out like this.
I kind of was wondering if it was like something like that, or if it was something of like another type of reputation at school. You know what I mean?
Okay. Freaky with other people. Yeah.
We are back. So before we left off, we were talking about
There's been a lot.
Yeah. We were talking about a lot, but we were specifically talking about obsession and the friend group. So do you have any like final points you want to make about the friend group other than they suck?
I think we covered the friend group to an appropriate length. They're just bad. It's just bad vibes. Nikki was getting out, and then this thing happened to her.
Justice for Nikki.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm very curious where, because we talked about sequels for like Talk to Me, and I'm curious because this is where you could open up the universe, because it's just a thing that people can get. I talked about this in the video I did, where it's like if this is a item that people could get, so I don't know. I'm curious where this could go.
Yeah, I'm curious.
And, you know, hopefully there's a scene that briefly just mentions that Nikki did not go to prison. That'd be nice.
That would be nice. I would appreciate that. It would make my life a little bit better. All right. So do you want to move on to Backrooms?
All right. Backrooms. What do you think?
Okay. So I liked it the first time I watched it. I didn't like it as much the second time, unfortunately. And I started to feel like maybe it got a little too A24. I know it's not my favorite, but overall though, I still feel like it's still a pretty solid movie. I think like the Backrooms itself looks phenomenal. I wanted it to be a little bit more of like a creature feature type feeling, but that's a me thing. So I completely understand why other people liked it to the extent that they did. I know you really liked this one. What'd you say? Almost perfect?
Yeah. This is, almost perfect. I think, so I'm like totally ignorant to any of the Backrooms lore, and I've never seen any of the YouTube videos or anything like that. So I agree with you. I was expecting more like a creature thing, and then they introduced like this whole async company. I think that's where it kind of lost me. Um, I mean, like all the stuff with like the pirate and of course it's A24, so we got to talk about like mental health and trauma. That's just a given.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that stuff was fine. I think the found footage stuff was probably the highlight of the movie. And I'm someone like I don't really like found footage movies at all. I think it's I like some of them, like Grave Encounters. I love Grave Encounters. If you've never seen Grave Encounters, check that out. Um, I feel like that era of horror movies kind of spoiled it for me because it just seemed like a very but the Backrooms is such an original idea that I think it really worked, and I think it can work in a full length movie. Um, I'm I'm glad they kind of didn't do the whole found footage because I think Kane Parsons, like for the meme, he's only 20 years old. He did a great job for like trying all these different things.
Yes.
I mean, I totally understand why it wasn't fully found footage. I would have made it found. I would have preferred it to be a full found footage movie. Just I don't know.
I actually kind of liked that it wasn't.
What do you think?
I liked that it wasn't actually. I like the switching off. I thought that it was like unique because it can kind of cater to people who do like found footage, but who also don't, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that like some people just like really just don't like found footage. I don't get it because I love found footage.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a good idea, that it was like opening up the audience, or you're opening it up for like other people who just don't like found footage. So I thought that the switching off was pretty cool. I honestly just would have kind of preferred if it stuck a little bit more so to like Kane Parsons, like, because I have seen the YouTube stuff. I do know about the stuff. So I just wanted them to kind of lean more so into like the actual like Backrooms lore, into what Kane Parsons had done previously, into like maybe like more of a creature type thing. I assume that they're going to, because I'm pretty sure did it get announced for the sequel already? Or am I just like making that up?
I mean, I think it's all but announced. Like I'm sure it's going to happen. If they didn't announce it already, it's bound to happen.
So, because we are running out of time, I just want everybody to know that you already did a video about this. So, like, everybody else, just go watch that video for any other information on Backrooms, because I do want to talk about your theory on another movie, Shelby Oaks, and why you thought that one wasn't as good as these.
Okay.
Shelby Oaks. What year was that?
Yes, I like your transition. That was very professional. Wasn't that last year, I think?
2025. I did end up writing it down in another spot.
Yeah. So honestly, I only seen this movie once, and I don't remember much of it. I remember the first like 25 minutes was a lot stronger than the back half, and I remember like it gave me vibes of like it pulled from all these different movies. I think that was like almost to a fault. Like it was just trying to do too many things. So my theory that I messaged you about was that I think all of these creators, like the Philippou brothers and Kane Parsons and Curry Barker, they are known for like skits and short films, things like that. And Chris Stuckman, like, God bless him, he went to film school. He, paid his dues and everything. Like, he knows how to make a movie look good. I think he needs help in the writing department. And he could improve over time, obviously. I think that was so. This is kind of off of what I'm saying, but like when you like Backrooms, like Kane Parsons didn't write that movie, and he almost had to like. He had Osgood Perkins come in and like kind of fend for him and be like, hey, Kane is the one that has this whole lore going on. So like, can you let him do this?
Yeah.
And I don't think Chris Stuckman had that. Like, because somehow Mike Flanagan got involved somehow.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have no idea how. And I think like a majority of it, he had like free reign to just do whatever he wanted. And I think that was to a fault. Like he can make a movie look good. He went to film school
Yeah.
and everything. And what it is, the movie looks good. It's kind of just doing way too many things at one time. And it's pulling from all these different places. You could tell he was inspired by like Lake Mungo and like the found footage movie Butterfly Kisses. And then he goes off into like Rosemary's Baby, kind of the First Omen and The Empty Man and all of these different things. And it's like pick like that's fine, but like pick a lane. And yeah, I think it was so. Essentially, what I'm saying is that like all of these other people are known for these skits, and he's known for reviewing movies.
I also think that the acting could have been better. Like, I don't know what happened with that. The acting kind of really brought that movie down for me. And you're right, though. I was actually going to say The Empty Man. It did kind of remind me of like parts of that.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite horror movies ever. I'm wearing a shirt.
I know. I was watching your video about it the other day. Another
it's so good. Yeah. Well, Stuckman actually, and I'm going to be honest, I beat him to the punch. I didn't make the movie first, but I saw The Empty Man before he put out his video about it, and he was saying that it deserves to be a cult classic. And you could definitely tell he pulled from The Empty Man, and I think his video about it proves evidence toward that.
Definitely. So now, since we're bringing all these up, I do want to segue into our final point. What do you think, like all these movies coming out right now, how great they're doing, it, like at least in our opinions. What do you think this means for horror moving forward? Like, is this a good thing? I know some people are not actually loving the whole like YouTubers making horror, and I actually disagree. I think it's great.
Yeah, so I actually got a comment complaining about on my Backrooms video about Kane Parsons because he didn't go to film school and all this and that. And like I don't know, I've written movies before and I didn't go to film school or anything. And I remember like when I was like 20 years old and writing movies, people were like, you don't have to go to film school, just watch movies and post it on YouTube. Like make your video or make your movie and post it on YouTube. So I think it's an alternative. I don't think everybody has to go to film school. I think it helps in some cases. But I mean, you like, however we get all of these like creative and unique movies, which, like you take the monkey paw idea and change it into this totally original idea with like great performances and everything. I think, however we get it, it works, So I don't know. Like I'm totally on board with however these people are, making their movies. However you get there, you get there.
I completely agree because I also feel like specifically the ones who have done either skits or short horrors, for example, Curry Barker, I actually did go on like a little bit of a binge and I watched like a ton of his, and I realized that so many different elements that he used in several different like skits, he ended up like putting in Obsession.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to like share my playlist with you so you can see what I'm talking about. But to me, I feel like he realized that he got good feedback on those things. And it's like, okay, cool. This is what people like. So let me do what people like. And I'm sure that there were things that he got negative feedback and actually said like, okay, maybe this was not the best idea. And that's kind of why I'm actually really feeling this, new wave of horror, this like specifically with these YouTubers, because they're seeing firsthand how the fans actually interact and what they want and what they like, as opposed to like our big budget Hollywood movies that are just, they don't really care what you want. Mm-hmm. They're just churning out a movie to get the money. So I'm completely on board with this. I think that this is great. I hope other people start stepping up and doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know Curry Barker said that, and it's, I think it's very important because, like, I remember him saying that he knows the audience is not stupid. Like, he said that going on, like, just from reading comments from his videos, like, he knows the audience is not stupid. And then you look at, like, Netflix, and I remember Matt Damon saying recently, because him and Ben Affleck just had that movie, The Rip, on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And they were saying that Netflix keeps telling us, like, you gotta, like, every 15 minutes, you gotta make sure the audience knows what's going on. You got to recap everything. So, yeah, I think it's great that, like, you know, you have people that trust the audience, and, you know, like, all these comments from kind of what you said, the comments from the YouTube video kind of feed. You take the feedback and, you know, run from there. Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking about, like, there have been so many movies that have either sequels or remakes, reboots, right? And I'm like, wow, you know, that could have been so good if they had done this, or that was really bad. That would have been better if they had done this, like what the fans have been saying that they wanted. Think like Grudge 2020 or 2019. Why was, like, Kayako only in like 10 seconds of that, right?
Right.
Nobody wanted that. If they had just kind of stuck with, like, the initial plan and things that, like, the fans really wanted to see out of the movie, that movie could have been so much better. So it just really goes to show you that, like, people like Curry Barker are really taking it into account how the fans actually are. And that is what is making this so important, because if you're not going to actually look at what people want, why are you going to make the movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So, just my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's a difference. Just to kind of clear it up a little bit, I think there's a difference because, like, you have movies like I don't know, Star Wars Episode 9, for example, is one that I could think of where, you know, you let the audience make it too much. You know what I mean? But I totally get what you're saying. But yeah, it's like you can't. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
All right, absolutely. Yeah, you have to find a balance. I feel like that's important, but, like, you actually care about somewhat about what the fans are saying.
Right, yeah.
And us, the ones reviewing the movies.
Yeah, we're very important.
We are. All right, so we're going to wrap this up because we are running out of time. Thank you so much for coming on and talking with me.
Yes, hopefully next time we have a better Wi-Fi connection.
I know, I'm sorry.
That I think that was the only issue we really ran into was the Wi-Fi.
I know it was sabotage.
Yeah.
So I just want to remind everybody to please go subscribe to my buddy over here. I'm going to link everything in the description. Do you have any, like, closing words that you want to say?
I just want to tell people to subscribe to Holly, a very underrated YouTuber. We made a bet that she would get 100 subscribers yesterday, and it did not happen. I think she's at 97, so I owe her $10. Yeah. So I'm gonna link. I'm gonna have her link my Venmo in the comments as well, so we can fund that $10.
You're gonna ask everybody to pay what you lost.
And that's why I don't gamble.
Yeah, because you lost. This is Holly, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to both of us if you haven't already. Bye.